Marcus Peters is in Las Vegas, and if you want the silver and black to sign this man right here, I need you to smash that like button right now. Raider Nation, what's going on? You're watching the Raiders Report. It's Mitchell Renz here from Chat Sports. We got some good Raiders news to talk about today. I had to wear the Tri-Van jersey to rep the 24 because Marcus Peters is in for an official visit with the silver and black as we speak right now. I almost feel like I'm in a little bit of a time machine because I did a video on Peters about a month ago, talked about whether or not I would like the move. I know Graphic Raiders spoke with Peters, and Peters flat out told him, man, I would love to be a Raider, which really shouldn't surprise anybody. He's from Oakland. It was the team that he grew up rooting for, and I'll tell you this right now. If I was a player like Peters and I could potentially end my career with the team that I grew up rooting for, and they could still potentially use me, right? That's a great idea. Now, for the Raiders, you got about $3.95 million in salary cap space after they went out and signed a lot of their UDFAs and went out and signed a lot of their rookies from this past week at Raiders rookie minicamp, which was from May 12th to May 14th. If maybe you didn't see that old video that I talked about where Peters and Graphic talked, this is what the quote was. I spoke to Marcus Peters at the Pro Bowl, and he made it clear to me a desire to play for his childhood team, the Las Vegas Raiders. Dude, if I had a nickel for every single time I have stood up here on this show and I said, I want a dude that reps the silver and black. I want a dude when he puts that shield on, he carries that with a sense of pride. So my question to you is this. Do you want Marcus Peters on the Raiders? Give me a yes, or I want you to give me a no. My answer will continue to remain the same. Marcus Peters signing with the Raiders, from what I do from a living standpoint, I mean, dude, we would go live, we would get rowdy, we would have one hell of a time. But then from the fan standpoint, as long as it's on a team-friendly deal, Peters is coming off a pretty rough season that he had, and he's getting up there in age, and if this team wants to be able to continue to build with some of their younger players, you got to give him a team-friendly deal. The last time that I checked, Spotrac had him at $9.8 million. PFF has had it at $7 million. When you look at a lot of the deals that have come through in the free agency market compared to what Spotrac and PFF projected of that, it's been drastically lower. And to me, I see a player like Rocky Sin get a one-year deal, $6 million. If Rocky Sin is going for $6 million, I'm not offering Marcus Peters anything over $4 million per year. So then you're like, all right, well, the Raiders got 3.95. You can make it work. Yes, they absolutely can make it work. So to me, the Raiders needed to sign Peters to a team-friendly deal, and if he's not willing to do that, then he doesn't want to be a Raider bad enough, right? That's really as simple it is. If Peters was still playing at that all-time Pro Bowl type of level, this is a much different conversation. But he's coming off some injury-plagued seasons, coming off one of the worst seasons he's ever had as a pro. So for that, team-friendly deal. Now, always remember this. We keep you up to date on the latest news and rumors going on around Marcus Peters. And I'm going to tell you this. If Peters signs, I'm going to go live today or tomorrow. I got to be real with y'all. I'm taking a vacation to Cancun from May 17th to May 24th. Don't worry. You're still going to get videos every day while I'm gone. But if Peters signs while I'm gone, Jeremy Chugs live here on the Raiders Report. I might have to, I don't know, Skype in or something like that from a pool bar. So be on the lookout for that. But this is a video that I put out a week ago. Top corner targets for the Raiders. Look who's on there. There it is, Marcus Peters. If you just want to know more about this team, I promise you we are the YouTube channel for you. So let's continue to talk about Peters here potentially going to the silver and black. And we're going to break down a lot of different things around this guy because, as a matter of fact, I know for a fact that he is in Vegas. It's been reported. He has his official visit. So Marcus Peters to the Las Vegas Raiders is definitely a very intriguing topic. Coming up next here on the Raiders Report, will Marcus Peters help the silver and black. But before we get into it, got a brand new sponsor here on the show, NordVPN. And Nation, if you don't know, go to nordvpn.com/RaidersCS. NordVPN is striving to make the internet better than it is today. It can be free from online threats, censorship, and surveillance. Get your online security package now by visiting nordvpn.com/RaidersCS. Get 4 months for free by using that link in the description and comment section when you purchase the NordVPN 2-year plan. Now, I don't know about you. If I hear about something new, I want to know a little bit more about it. Online protection with a single click. Dad, I made sure that they put that one in for you. Don't miss your favorite content, even when you're traveling. I'm getting ready to go to Cancun. Stay safe from malware. Fastest VPN on the planet. Best price for online security. NordVPN won't track you or share what you do online. Your data is always protected by next-generation encryption. Get started now. Click the link in the description or comments. That's nordvpn.com/RaidersCS to get 4 months for free of NordVPN and a 30-day money-back guarantee. So before we started talking about NordVPN, I asked you this. Would Marcus Peters help the Las Vegas Raiders? And my answers can always change from time to time, and it's simply because new updates come in, new reports come out, or something like the NFL draft has come and passed. So if you watched my show from a month ago, guess what? My answer now changes because the Raiders didn't necessarily address the cornerback room like I thought that they could potentially do during the draft. So would Marcus Peters help out the Las Vegas Raiders? This one is 3 just win babies. And I do think that it's pretty likely. The reason why it's 3 is because, to me, corner is still a little bit of a need. The Raiders lack a veteran cornerback presence, and I'm really big on that because you go back and you look at what Casey Hayward did for this Raiders defense in 2021. You look at what Deron Harmon did. Yes, it's a different position, but sometimes having a veteran out there for those really tough situations, it can go a very, very long way. And when you see how young this Raiders cornerback room is, that's why I do think this move makes some sense. Also, he's always been able to force turnovers, and that's one thing that this Raiders defense definitely needs to do. I mean, look at some of these numbers here from a career standpoint. He came out as a rookie, 8 interceptions. Even last season, he had 1 INT. 2020, 4 INTs. 2021 did not play. Remember, he tore his ACL right before the Monday Night Football Week 1 showdown with, you guessed it, the Las Vegas Raiders. But no matter what, he has done something that this Raiders team has needed for a long time, whether it's intercepting the ball or even last season, where 2 forced fumbles. He is going to be aggressive. And when in a Patrick Graham defense, if you're going to run a lot of press man, that also fits what Marcus Peters does. He wants to frustrate you. He wants to hit you in the mouth, and he wants you to make a mistake. And if you do, throughout his career, he's been able to take advantage of it. The problem was last season, he looked rusty. He looked maybe like Father Time was starting to catch up to him. A 64.3% completion percentage against him. He allowed 711 yards, 7 touchdowns, and a quarterback rating of 113.7. The reason why this isn't 4 just win babies is because of the simple fact of, I want to see how healthy his knee is. I want to see how healthy he is in general. And on top, he's coming off his career worst year in passer rating allowed, plus he's missed 21 games the last 2 years. That's the only reason why it's not a 4 just win babies. He's going to help out the team. Because if he's not healthy, I don't know if he's a top 3 corner on this team. As it stands, you got Duke Shelley, David Long Jr., they're going to be competing on the outside. I do think Nate Hobbs could find himself on the outside as well if they really truly believe in Tyler Hall as a nickel. But one of the things Dave Ziegler and Josh McDaniels said was they're going to try to build more depth in that secondary. And Marcus does exactly that. He gives you that veteran presence. He gives you that swagger that this Raiders defense has been missing from a very long time. And it gives you more competition as an outside corner. And I will say this, if you bring in Peters, this is going to be very interesting to see what they do with Nate Hobbs, because then maybe a signing of Peters really does truly mean that Nate Hobbs is going back in on the slot. So if the Raiders do sign Peters, then they will have to end up moving on from a player. As it stands right now, the Silver and Black have 91 players on their roster. For some of you are like, well, wait, Mitch, aren't you only allowed to have 90? Yes. However, the Raiders have the NFL Pathway Program player, so therefore they're allowed to have 91 with him. If the Raiders sign Peters today or tomorrow or whenever, if they do, they will have to move on from a guy, so it is something to keep in mind. So one more time here, Marcus Peters is in Las Vegas. I remember I tweeted it out. I saw the excitement on IG and on Twitter. This would be a big move for the Raiders for multiple reasons. Grew up a Raiders fan. It's still a team need, and it's a big-name player. Friendly reminder, if they do end up signing him, we will go live today. We will go live tomorrow. Anytime after that, from May 17th to May 24th, I'm going to be in Cancun with my fiance, with her family, a little family vacation, if you will. And if it does go down, honestly, I'm going to be tuning in with a margarita in my hand, and I'm going to be watching Jeremy Chuggs live here on the Raiders Report. That's must-watch content. In fact, if that ends up happening and you don't watch, you eat corn the long way.